Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 11 of the advent of code for the year 2024. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's problem or Larry's performance or everything in between, you know? Let me know about your day even. I'm a little bit groggy today, I've been a little tired today for whatever reason. Don't know why. I mean, I don't know. Just don't know why. Don't know why. But it is what it is. It is at midnight at the end of the day, just like the common phrase. So we'll see what happens. 45 seconds to go. I'm really excited. Actually, before I forget, because I feel like some days I cut it a little bit close, and change it to my my terminal so you can see what I'm doing. Because you can also kind of see what I'm looking at. But you know, if you're curious about the website, go to Add Random Code, and then today is day 11. And we have 25 seconds to go. And yeah, and it looks like this is like a montage. Well, I guess I'm not showing it right now, but yeah, I think this is looking like more and more like a Big Ten with a montage of all the things from previous years. So yeah. So excited to see how it will lit up in about, well, in like 15 days or whatever. Anyway, we have 3 seconds to go. Let's go, 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 focus, go, go, good luck. Say what? It's very confusing. Okay, fine. It's not that confusing, but I feel like this is very ChatGPT-able because it literally tells you what to do. Yeah, I'm dumb. This is too, I don't know, this is very weird, but it's fine. But I feel like it's not. This is pretty lazy. How much time are you trying to save? This is actually, I don't know. Oh jeez. I don't know if this is right, but nope. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have time to. I figured it would take me a minute to debug if I'm wrong anyway, so. Which is unfortunate. Okay, that's very wrong. Nope. How many times have we done? 22 times? No. Did I mess this up? How do I? Oh no, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess I'm not leaderboarding anyway. And this looks right. Oh, number of stones. I misread this one. Oh, maybe I did have it right. I just kind of returned the wrong thing. Oh, huh. Well, maybe not. No, I changed the input. Oh no, Larry. Oh, Larry, you dummy. Well, so maybe I wasted 2 minutes doing nothing. You know, who? Well, not finishing well today, I guess. No, this I still got it wrong, I think. Oh no. Nope, I got it right. It's just that I was looking. Okay, well, just have to wait 20 seconds. I'm just okay. Well, I don't know if this is true, but maybe part 2 is what I thought would be anyway. So I guess I'll just copy and paste while I'm doing it. That'll be funny if that's the case. Yeah, 934, 75 times. Maybe this is slow. I don't know if people are already done. The sim. I always run it in the background so that I see it, but man, that is such a waste of time on me. I mean, I don't know if I would have been close, because I think this was I don't think I would have made it deletable anyway, because I was very slow in reading it, and this is an if statement for loop problem for part 1. But definitely didn't help that I added 2 minutes to my time. Okay. 75 times. Okay. This is getting slower by a lot. I imagine that's the case for the other one. So we have 12 million for 37, almost doubles. So that means that this is kind of quite exponential almost. Well, this is exponential, but is it exponential enough for me to finish running? Right. So maybe I have to do a little bit smarter. What happens after we... So you only get a new stone. Maybe it is interesting. Let's see, right? I mean, this may never finish, or like the other thing anyway. Alright, now it's kind of killing my thing. I mean, it may still finish, but it may take a long time. So, let's see. Can I optimize this? Left. This is the only time that gives you a new stone. This doesn't change. It gives you 1. What gives you 1? 1, and then 1 is odd, so then it'll give you 20, 24, right? And then we can actually just remember what we have, right? Remember what we have. The orders doesn't matter, so we can maybe do something like this. Right? X in dot keys, right? So then I don't even need this. So we have right? Maybe new F. And then if X is equal to 0, we just do and F of 1 is equal to add 1, right? Or add F of X, or F of 0, okay? Else, yeah, okay, we have this thing, right? C is equal to F of X, so we can just write this for count, and then F of, because I imagine this happens a lot. Right, and then it's just nope, it's new F, Larry. Still not done yet, but okay. Too lazy. Ooh, that's not the right answer. Huh. Was it 25 is... That's right. So why am I wrong for this? Oh, I pasted the wrong thing again. What am I doing, Larry? I have this extra thing and then I just kind of forgot to and I pasted the wrong thing. This is like 3 minutes of stupidness today. Okay, at least we finished, I think. I was like, it doesn't make sense, but someday, like I said, I was a little bit goggy and weird today, and even when you finish, you don't finish. I don't know. I think on a good day, maybe I could have be on the leaderboard for part 2, like a slightly better day even. Like we gave away at least 3 minutes, so that's 461. But that's just a little bit sad. Like at least 3 minutes. We gave away 2 minutes here and 3 minutes here. Yeah. Let's see. I'm curious how the leaderboard. 33 seconds. 6 minutes, so maybe I wouldn't be close. I think part 1, I don't know why I was so slow in part 1, honestly. Well, how much I take? Oh, I do know why I was so slow in part 1, because I took 2 minutes of silliness, right? I mean, but even then, I mean, I don't think I was that fast even if I didn't. I was just reading that a little bit slow, and I think this one, honestly, is a for loop with an if statement with a counter. I just kind of wasn't on my A game today, which happens, you know? Like, and in a year where we don't have ChatGPT, like, you know, you hope that the good days will carry the silly days like today, but I don't have enough good days to carry the silly days, and you know, and so it is what it is, and you know, and yeah, people who, I mean, this is literally a for loop. I feel like even the silliest ChatGPT model can do it quickly, and you see it on these times, right? 9 seconds. I mean, I feel like 1 minute is probably possible. If yeah, I had some silly mistakes. I think 1 minute is probably possible if I was very good and everything, like if I read it in a way in a good way, I probably could, you know, it's a very 1 minute-able problem. I just wasn't like, you know, yeah, two of the minutes are sad, and then I took. Actually, even 5 minutes on part 2 is kind of slow on my part. I don't know what I gotta, maybe one of these days, you know, this is what happens when you have a relatively poor day. But like, I would like to review my tapes and then maybe see how that happened. Because I was, I mean, you know, Like that was a way gettable part 2 if I was a little bit smarter about it. Yeah, look, the brute force is still running. So, okay. I mean, we could kill it now. I don't know where it's up to, honestly. Would be curious to know. But it probably uses too much memory, which is why it is crashing. And it should, because the final answer is something ridiculous. So it would have used this much memory. So it was never gonna finish running. I mean, I wanted a harder, I wouldn't say mathy for this one, but a more CS problem, and I got it, but then I just didn't execute. That should not have been a 5-minute part 2. That probably was like I mean, I spent one of the minute just being dumb because I pasted the wrong thing. Didn't even make sense, but I was just rushing it. I think I was a little bit tilted, meaning that I was like, I mean, I wasn't gonna be on the leaderboard anyway in either case, but I was like, let's redeem myself. You know, you guys slow part 1, let's just show off with fast part 2. So I didn't even look at it. I didn't even get it. I knew that this would give me the answer, but I didn't even bother. Like that, what I had was left over from part 1, and I didn't even like, you know. How does that even print the right? What did I have? Did I have print length of nums? How did that print? What did I have when I submitted that? I have to check the tapes, but it didn't make sense because length of nums would have been like 10 or something. So I didn't submit 10. I submitted this number. So I don't know, the 200,000. Oh, I'm not showing it, but I mean, I'm just kind of wondering where this number came from. Like the 200, was that part 1 answer or something? I'm curious where that answer comes from. So I don't know. I have to kill the process. Hang on. Because my this is still running, and oh no, it's kind of, I think it's freeing up the memory now. Okay, there you go. Because that brute force is still running, but just kind of okay. So that was never gonna work, but sometimes it might have. I don't know. Not this one though. I just wasn't. It's just one of those off days, I think, which happens. Like I said, it's fine. But a lot of things made a lot of mistakes if you watch the tape live, or even, you know, when you record it back. All right, let's go over the problem real quick. I mean, I think I actually recognized what it was a little bit earlier, but I think I just didn't have. I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those days, right? Like I said. And again, I print out incorrect things. I think I print out the sum of the nums because I thought I like while part 1 was, because I was getting a wrong answer from part 1 while I was running, I was guessing on part 2's answer. I didn't think it was just be scaling it, but in any case, yeah. So part 1 pretty straightforward. The one of the hard part is that oh, what happened? Sorry, what happened? One of the tough part about this for me anyway is that I only have one monitor, and I'm working on a 15-inch monitor or whatever it is. In fact, everything that you see on here on the screen, including me, is more than what I see. I actually only have one screen, and everything is all tapped. So what I mean by that is that I have the terminal, which you see on this side. I don't know. That's my right side, I suppose. But yeah, or your left, whatever. You see the terminal, right? So what you see is the terminal, and I have the alt tab between the terminal and the admin of code browser, actually. So you see more than what I see now, actually, because I only have one monitor, right? I mean, you know, this is just old man yelling at cow, and you know, there's no excuse other than my own. But what I mean by that is that as a result, like for these if statement problems, it's like I have to go back and forth, right? Until I was just like, oh wait, I have to paste the right thing, the actual rule set, and then that's basically what I have here. But of course, but I always knew that I had no chance at part 1, for this particular one, and maybe today, but maybe in general. No, I mean I'm pretty fast on part 1, but I think especially for today, just because just because I knew that ChatGPT was gonna like this felt very ChatGPTable, and I don't think I'm wrong on it. And so like I knew that I had no chance. But that said, I still kind of rushed myself a little bit as a part of a retro. The reason why I'm kind of telling you this is kind of my retro, and as a result, I just print the wrong things. But otherwise, this is very straightforward. Right, it is just an if statement problem, and I expect a lot of people to do it very quickly. And it's just a for loop and if and sum, right? I probably could have done this a little bit cleaner. I was debating about like I didn't really read the rules until I was implementing it, so that's why like stuff feels a little bit haphazard. Because it is like the trade off is really just the trade off is just the amount of typing you have to do, honestly, and this end up being like a little bit yucky. Maybe like, I don't know, and it's always tough to kind of figure out what variables I need or what's right ones or right twice or whatever. So it's kind of tricky, right? So like maybe you could win something crazy like this, and then you don't have to write this, right? But I don't know, is that really cleaner? I don't know, right? Like that still works, just double checking, right? I don't know, right? But it makes me look smarter, I guess, because that's what the kids like. And you could maybe even do it in like a for loop or something like this, or like this is a for loop. I mean like a one-liner for comprehension if you're really funky. But yeah, I mean I don't really have much for part one for the obvious reasons that I really don't have anything else to explain for for loop. I have a nums, and then I have a new nums, and then I just kind of do the thing that they tell you. The reason why I have an nx is because I thought that I can just leave it out of it, but then this part I was like, okay, we have to split into two, so it's a little bit awkward. So I just kind of abandoned it by this part. So I just kind of I mean you could probably just I don't know, and I think I want to say you could also probably do a switch statement, but honestly for this one I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Okay, and then part two is just part one, but now we're doing a 75 instead of 25. I think one thing that I've been historically pretty bad with my template actually is things that requires a second input. I need to be better about it. I mean, obviously you could have done like you could make this as a variable, like I don't know, t for time is how I do iterations and stuff in my head, and like t is equal to 25 or something like this, and then same idea here, right? Because the reason why I do that, I think about it a little bit tricky, because if we go back to like examples, this one's actually not true because they bring 25 times in both, and they give you I guess they don't give you an additional example for 75, but very often they're like, okay, this is how many things after six times, and then here's 25 or something like this. It turns out that for this particular one, 25 is both part for the example and our thing, which is kind of nice of them, nice of Eric, but it's not always the case, and then you have to do these like secondary variable things. I don't have a good template about it, so maybe I need to work on improving this. I mean, this is like obviously cleaner, but I would like a way to kind of have like to separate the testing and the part and the actual input, so that I can kind of, I don't know, have it all on one page without additional work. I don't know. I have to figure it out. But that's part of the awkwardness, is that like for some reason I also during the live part I saw the 22. I did get a little bit confused here with because I for this, especially for this problem, I thought, even though I knew that I have no chance for part one, I thought maybe I have a chance at part two. But if I have a chance at part two, I still have to be really fast at part one. Even if I don't make the leaderboard, it still has to be fast, if not including the leaderboard, right? So that's why I was kind of like, okay. But when on the first scan, I saw this 22 right here, and I might have. Like, I thought there was 22 iterations at some point. Everything was very confusing, because when I look back again, I was like, 25? I thought it was 22 iterations, for example. So things are very confused, as you can see, because I was rushing it, and part of that, that's why I don't do it for admin of code, but that's why for like lead code or competitive or code forces, when I used to do them, and top coder, a lot of times actually I force myself to slow down. I control my breathing. I slow myself down because it's okay. we may be a little bit slower, but we'll make fewer mistakes, and that averages out over time, right? For lead code and code force and all these other things, right? So that's the strategy. But why I don't do that here is because, well, that's not a good strategy for advent of code scoring model, right? The leaderboard scoring model, right? Because you want the volatility. You want, like if we make, like today, if we made 2 mistakes, it doesn't matter, right? Versus, but what you really want is that really fast top end result, because if you make 1 mistake, it's the same as making 10 mistakes, right? Kind of, right? Like I don't care about the after score leaderboard. So in this advent of code scoring model, we do want that huge variance, and as a result, it's a deliberate choice to like not slow myself down per se, because like if I finish 120th, like I have a few times this year, it doesn't matter, right? Or like it's the same as finishing 1000th, right? So that's my kind of so all this strategy thing, or I don't know if it's strategy or tactics, but in either case, all this is kind of deliberate. Whether we can execute is another story, but that's the idea. Okay. So part 2, and this happens even more true like nowadays because I have to deal with ChatGPT, where previously I think like quote unquote my average performance, like I probably could do like maybe 80th, 90th. So then like we could play around with my mental clock and the distribution of these things. But okay, maybe that's too much on meta strategy and how I handled it. But that's how one of these days you always see me blow up, kind of like today. Anyway, part 2. I honestly I don't know what I was thinking about, because 5 minutes honestly feels really slow for me. I mean, maybe 4 minutes if you count the time where I pasted the wrong value because I was just too lazy to type out the correct print statement. That's the other thing about being lazy. You're lazy to save 10 seconds and then you have to eat a minute penalty. Right? But that's what happened, right? So I had it, so maybe 4 minutes. That still feels a little bit slow. But yeah, I mean, the core idea is recognizing that the order of the stone doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter where they are. And so you can kind of group stones by the number. And the reason why this happens, or like a lot of numbers end up being grouped together, is I believe, and maybe I could put out the distribution, but the way I kind of did, before I even recognized this though, or think that that's the right strategy, is that, and honestly, I didn't have a proof that this would work, right? Like there are probably certain patterns where that would not work, but inputs and so forth, right? Let me take a look at the inputs while I'm here. I mean, the 0 is kind of thing, right? So, but yeah, I know proof that this would work, but I just was hoping. And the reason that I know this is because of this 0 goes into 1, because my guess would have been that 0 comes up enough times. Well, that's my hypothesis. And every time you get a 0, you probably run into a cycle of things. So that was my guess. Looking at how the if statements work and things evolve, right? I think there's actually I mean, well, we'll play around with it first, but maybe if we have time now, we can maybe play around with doing it manually, right? So 0 goes to 1, goes to 20, 24, and then that goes to 20 and 24. Those are even digits, right? So that goes 2, 0, 2, and 4. So now already in a very quick succession in like 5 loops, you kind of already see the pattern, right? So now you have 0, 2, 2 2s, and 4. 0, we do the same thing. The 2s are kind of the same thing, but it does like 20, 24 times whatever. But as we saw, this 0 will only basically give you 3. Like it also gets into a cycle, right? Maybe actually I don't know what the 2 things goes into, but that was my hypothesis even without working it out. So kind of see. There might actually be I guess I was gonna play around with doing the explanation on matrix multiplication and matrix exponentiation, but maybe that doesn't apply here though. We can kind of play. We have more time now, so we can kind of play around a little bit, right? Oh, that is a lot. Maybe I can play around with putting out the length of these. Yeah, I mean even at 74, there are only 3,700 number of unique keys, right? So maybe fast experimentation wouldn't have worth it. I don't even know how you would get it actually. Yeah, I don't know how you would set it up. In theory, maybe there could be, but I don't know how you would set it up, honestly. So yeah, so I think this is probably the idea about it. And maybe I could actually even print out the distribution like most common or something like. I think there's like f dot most common or something like this. I just want to see the top 5. Oh, that is a thing. So it's actually, oh yeah. So as you can see, most of the time apparently, most of the numbers are actually all the single digits, right? On the top 5. Maybe I'll even expand it out a little bit for most common 10. Right? But like, yeah, so that was my hypothesis, and like all the single digits. All right. Anyway, but yeah, and then obviously all the single digits will kind of loop in some cycle. I mean, maybe for 0, it apparently is a cycle 4 or 5 or whatever it was. I imagine similar things for all the other numbers, but you can see that each one has a lot. So okay. And also even there are a lot about, and I imagine this is just 4 times 2024 and like 8 times 2024 and so forth. So that's why these numbers are so common, because it is just the previous line times 2024. Otherwise, these big digits don't really make sense, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, but that's the way to do it. And this is actually the way to think about this. I mean, the way that I structured it, but this is actually a dynamic programming solution, by the way. I mean, you could maybe call it also simulation with bucketing. You could also maybe call it that. You don't necessarily need to think of it that way, but you could definitely think of it dynamic programming. And with dynamic programming, you can maybe because if you start thinking about it in terms of other problems types, it helps you kind of think about different ways of writing this, perhaps, right? Like maybe there's some weird edge case in which this is very awkward, then maybe you write it top down because it's dynamic programming. Because then now each digit goes for a journey, and then you do a memorization instead, and maybe you fix your whatever it is, right? So like there are a lot of ways to play around this one, but in terms of complexity, it's actually kind of tricky to kind of prove complexity, I suppose. I mean, there's going to be O of t, and then this is just the number of keys, and the number of keys kind of grow exponentially, right? I think. Oh no, the other one. I actually wanted to. I'm curious. And it may be that it grows a little bit fast just because of one of the seeds, right, of my input. It is probably if I have to guess, if I look at my input, one of these probably don't have like a cycle or something like this, and as a result, it just kind of generates other things that happens only once or something. So, which probably is a good way to prevent people from just like if I were to guess, and I'm not a problem writer, but if I were to guess as a problem writer, so that people cannot look at this sequence and be like, oh, it's just like, some polynomial formula or something like this, and then just guess for 75. But I feel like that is also a lot of work, so I don't know. But yeah, that is all I have for today. I mean, I think we did okay for a bad day. Like I said, though, it's just a little bit sad that like this year we don't have the good days to kind of even out the bad days. The part 1, and I don't know, today's just so many mental mistakes, right? Like I had 3 wrong answers, and during those 3 wrong answers, I had the right answer in front of me. I just did the wrong thing for some reason, right? So I don't know. I mean, and that still would not have been fast enough. I probably had to go a little bit faster, but I made other mistakes with random silly things. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, and part 1 isn't even my worst performance yet, so hooray for not the worst of the year. Which one was that one? Oh, that was the regex one, I think. Yeah, and yeah, I really choked on that one too. But anyway, that is all I have for today. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments about everything about this video. Always love feedback. I don't do as much Advent of Code videos because as many Advent of Code videos because, well, there's not that many Advent of Code problems. But so I would always love feedback about, you know, the structure and everything. Is still playing around with it. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Yeah, hope to see you tomorrow again. I already did the caveat enough times, so I'll skip the caveats about you maybe not seeing me tomorrow. But yeah, stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. I'll see y'all later. Take care. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.